Charmaine, peace and freedom. Get an affair. It's Queen Mother Imaku. It's a pleasure to be back with you. And yeah, I know it's been a minute again, but here we are, and we're on the other side of the season. It is fall. The weather is beautiful outside. It's nice and cozy, and I'm hoping that you all had a wonderful day. And I hope that the last few weeks have been great for you. They've been great for me. This is a time of progress, and especially because the fact I'm a Pisces, ooh, the forecast for us is fabulous. And as I'm sitting here just chilling with my Bendecida cup, blessed, I I figured I would just check in and see how everybody's doing. Also, Restream has changed a bunch of things here that I need to get used to. So at least I have an idea. So now they have some music going here. Seems a little annoying. I think I might stop it. But they've added a lot more bells and whistles, which have made me very happy. I'll leave it on for a little while and see how it goes. Yeah, I just figured I'd come on for like maybe about 10 minutes tonight just to see how everybody's doing and also to catch people up on what's happening in my life. If you've been following me, you probably noticed that there's a lot of great things going on. I have accepted being president of the local National Action Network chapter here in Newark, the Brick City chapter. And that has been wonderful. We've been operating the last several months, and I just recently openly announced that I am the president because I don't want to confuse people. There's always so much that I'm doing. And so, very happy about that. It was a decision that I decided to go back and get that. I had the opportunity to do it 4 years ago, turned it down, and said, you know what, let me fix that. So to be in service to the community is always a blessing. And then also, I am the head of the new Brick City ASCAC chapter. That is the Association for the Study of Classical African Civilizations. It is I would say, a legacy organization for people who are familiar with Black scholarship and African studies. So we do have a chapter that's established here. In fact, they're not called chapters; they're called study groups. That I was part of this other study group, but I was asked if I would start another one, just like the same thing with my situation with being president of the National Action Network local chapter. We are the Brick City chapter. This is the Brick City chapter also in ASCAC. And so we've been meeting every Wednesday night online and give thanks and praise to It's good to see you, Kim Sarah Neforatum. With your name being Atum, this is your season. And I'm hoping that everything is really wise and wonderful in your world. Duau for the congratulations. And I've been teaching yoga on a regular basis in the city here. And oh, what else? Working on new music. If you go to my website, imaku.info, you get to hear snippets of what I've been working on in the studio because the plan is to have my new music released at the same time that I come out with the newest version, finally, final of the book. I told y'all I had two sets. One set is for the general public. One set is for my godchildren and my students. So give thanks. Give thanks. All right. And oh, what else? Yeah, I was on a float. I was on a float for the Newark Puerto Rican Day Parade, playing plena with planeros, um, and with women dressed in cultural attire, and it was so proud for me to be able to express my cultural heritage. And so there's that, and there are all these different things going on. Oh, thank you for that. And even with the singing, let me just tell you something. I'm gonna turn this music off. How loud is the music? What does it sound like on your end? I'm about to cut this off. I thought it would kind of add some energy, but to me, it's just like a little. Is it distracting? How's it sounding for you all before I cut this off? Okay. They have this AI generated music. So that basically means it's not real. So, and they have a selection of about 10. Oh, you didn't even hear the music? You didn't hear the music? Okay. They add new stuff and you got to try it out in order to see what works, what doesn't work. So, and they give you the chance to upload your own music too. So maybe I'll try that next time and see if that comes through. But yes, so listen, I have also been coming to terms with a lot of the different challenges that I've had. I can say I am very happy. I am actually in a place of just bliss and joy and feeling extremely blessed. So I'm grateful. But now the reality also is that since I've gone through a lot of trauma, now I've had a chance to deal with the physical things other physical things I've been dealing with. Y'all know about the mouth surgery, but also I have four herniated discs. Yeah, I think it's only because of the fact that I've been doing yoga that I'm able to be walking around. So I have four herniated discs, a pinched nerve, and well, it might be more than that. I don't know, but I know of at least one. And so that I have sciatica with lumbago. This is stuff you only hear about when like you're small and you hear jokes that are made on TV. Oh, my lumbago. I didn't even know what that was until I got it. So, Brother Che, it's good to see you. Duau, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad to see you here, and thank you for joining our Facebook page for our Nan Brick City chapter. Thank you. Do you swim in a shallow pool? Is that a joke, or is that a serious question? So, oh, so do you play the hand drum? Oh, for back pain. Listen, I'm a professional drummer. I'm pointing to my drums over here. I have a big collection of hand drums. That's what I do. If you go to my website, which I'll put in right here, you'll see a video of me drumming at imaku.info. You'll also get to hear my music. And let me just show that. And so I'm a drummer. And as I'm gonna be honest, as a female drummer, we have our challenges. I've had to learn how to compensate because of the fact that I have small hands. If you couldn't tell, people meet me in person, they're like, "You're little." Yeah, I'm short and I have small hands, but I drum hard. There's no way I can drum like a man with big hands. There's just no way I can. So I've learned ways to compensate and to be creative in being able to get a big sound out of my drum. But the thing is, the body is not really meant. Well, no. Let me just rephrase that. Repetitive movement at all that we do in our work, no matter what it is. It could be sitting at the computer all day. It could be pushing a broom. It could be wiping windows. It could be being on the phone with your hand like this. Well, yeah. Yeah, and we've gotten used to walking around like this too, right? With this, I'll be coming from the store. I'll have my little Whole Foods bag hanging off me, and I have my earphones in, and I have my shoulder bag, but I'm walking around with my phone like this. This is not really good for your wrist, but we get accustomed to it, right? Okay, so now back to the drumming. So I wear a strap around my waist so that it eases the support of the drum. That's one thing. But still, your position is more like this. Even when I'm standing and drumming and I've got it around my neck, and that pulls on your neck. And, again, you're like this, and then also you've got to consider the fact that you've got the sensitive fingers. There are a lot of drummers who, if they play a long time, they may end up losing fingertips. That's no lie. I've been very careful about that because of the fact that I'm 64 and I've been drumming my whole life and a professional musician my whole life, along with all the other things that I do as an artist. But as a professional dancer, I stopped tap dancing at age 45 because I didn't want to end up with double hip replacements or knee replacements like a lot of my colleagues. So I stopped teaching tap dance. I stopped doing hard African dance. I shifted into some other forms of dance because of the fact that I still love dancing. But, I'm trying to just be conscious about the fact that, your body takes a beating. Dance is very athletic. Same thing with playing an instrument. All right. Now, I mentioned the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and I was playing the guira or the guiro, and it is the scraper, right? And so I was playing for almost the whole parade. So, especially, you get into a groove and the energy just gets into you and you just, and maybe people may think, oh, that must be easy. No, it's not, because you've got to make sure that you don't miss the instrument. And also you're staying focused on task and everything, even though you get excited, still you've got to focus so that you can produce sound, because when you are playing percussion, it is driving the audience. People are loving it, loving it. And they get excited, you get excited, but you have to maintain your cool. But then afterwards, you're so tired. You feel like I ran a marathon, And so the same thing with drumming. Now, again, I have a whole core of drums here, different kinds. I have my conguita. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 djembes. I've got 2 udus, the water drums. I've got, a bunch of different things. But again, it's the whole thing with the repetitive movement where it can really mess you up, but it also has an impact on your back. So have you ever played with finger tape that has the oil? No, actually I haven't. And it's something, because all those years ago, I was presented that opportunity, to wrap your fingers, right? But it's really not my fingers that are really catching it. It's really my shoulders and my back. In fact, back in 2019, my doctor told me, you have arthritis in your shoulder, you need to stop drumming. I was like, what? That's how I make my living, right? But on top of that, it's also very calming. It's meditative, and it is healing. It's truly healing. Then I saw another doctor who was a specialist and said, you don't have arthritis. You could use some physical therapy, but you don't have any arthritis. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Well, it's 6 years later, 5 years later, and yeah, I'm feeling it in my shoulders, right? But then also it's the strain on the back. There's a whole other story about how I ended up getting the herniated disc, so I'll spare you all that. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, so now I'm addressing it, holistically. Did you know that coffee can affect your sciatica? It can. As soon as you cut down on the coffee, you'll see a difference. I know that happened with me, although I'm enjoying a cup tonight. That's because I felt a tickle in my throat, and yes. So, and it's not that I was a coffee fiend before, but it was that I mean, it definitely was affecting my health. And so, on top of that, there are other things where I've had to flip things around, but I am very insistent on focusing on this holistic path that I've been on, off, all these years because of living with epilepsy and, the asthma, and goodness gracious, I'm so much better than I was. But see, there's something else. You'll notice that the lighting has changed, and that's because I've had photosensitive epilepsy my whole life, photosensitive seizures, extremely, extremely sensitive to strong light. And it took me a minute to figure, well, more than a minute to figure out that the overhead lights that I have, and I have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight ceiling lights here, that they were really not helping me. So I have all these other lamps in the house, and I said it makes sense to use those where it has the diffused lighting. So instead of eight lights, I have one, two, three lamps on. Okay. So, these are all the different things that you need to really be mindful of, um, uh, in terms of listening to your body, paying attention to your health, seeing what is good for you, what is not good for you. And also, as we get older and we adapt, we learn ideally to adapt to the changes that are going on, that we embrace them. Now, I am ever grateful for yoga having been in my life since I was 12. And again, I'm 64. And I'm I am a living witness about the fact that it will change you. It will absolutely change your life. Um, I was on a march in DC on last Monday, and well, we arrived on Monday, we marched on Tuesday, and I brought my cane with me for the first time. I in a long time. I had not used it since one time when I was hospitalized, and when they discovered the herniated discs, and they didn't tell me that they discovered herniated discs. They just suggested that I use a cane. This young man came in and he said, if I gave this to you, would you use it? I said, no. He said, just for a little while. I think it will really help you. I said, no. He said, why? I said, because it will make me look vulnerable. I'm a woman living alone, and I don't need for somebody to think that they can take me because they see that I'm out here with a cane. So he said, well, I mean, just for a little while, just try to help to take the ease off of. I said, well, what's the problem? Okay. Wouldn't really tell me what the problem was. I found out later. But yeah, so I did try it for a little while, and I quickly said, this ain't working. I can't do this. I'm gonna have to get it together. So I went to the gym and just started working out in a different way, and started using different machines to help to stretch out the muscles. There are different things you can do for your back. So that's what I started doing, and it really made a big difference. But like I said, last week I used Wisdom in a long bus ride, and that is not good if you have herniated discs. And I was grateful that I brought my cane because I needed it. But I just want to let you know, for those of you who saw me out there with the cane, if you see me down the street, walking down the street, as most people do, without the cane, then that's because the fact that I've learned how to, for the most part, get along without it. So again, the whole thing about listening to the body. Yes. Okay. All right. So I'll be back this week with more programming, and with more insight about how to move your life forward in a positive way in spite of the adversities that we have. There's a popular saying about turning your pain into purpose and turning it into power, and you absolutely can. You may be going through difficulties right now, but at some point, trust me, as long as you continue to hang in there, to remain positive, to believe in yourself, to believe also that you can connect with your higher self and your higher power, so that you are able to realign your life in the way that is necessary for you to achieve balance and success, then you will. I'm a living witness and testimony, okay? And so let us get through this fall together and find grace and beauty as we see the seasons changing, as we see the falling leaves, as we feel the crispness in the air, and as we hopefully take advantage of all of the celebrations that take place, that where you can just enjoy yourself. There are so many things happening here in the city of Newark. There is something popping off every single night or every day. There aren't many eateries to go to after you've finished, but uh, still, it's it's um, it's a wonderful city to be able to get engaged in so many of the different things that are happening here. I love my city, and I hope that you love where you live too. And no place is perfect, but see, the thing is to be inspired, to get involved, to affect positive change. You have the power to change your life, your community, your world. The question is, what will you do? Bring your positivity, hopefully, to it. Bring your insight to it. Roll up your sleeves. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And also be honest and realistic about the things that need to be changed in the city or the town where you live, the province where you live. And at the same time, learn to love where you live as well. I am Reverend Queen Mother Imaku. It's been my pleasure to be back with you. And I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed sleep. Oh, one more thing. Something I started doing? I started just making sure that I got 8 hours sleep. I don't even, the whole thing of waking up at 4 in the morning. I mean, I wake up at 4, so, say a prayer and then find myself going back to sleep. And I am so much better. So much better. I know in my previous book, I talked about the importance of getting up early, and that's what we do in our tradition. You get up at 4, you pray. You need rest. I'm not knocking people who get up and pray at 4 because I used to do it religiously, truly. But I need rest. And I wake up feeling more refreshed, more focused. I have more energy, and I'm able to get a lot more accomplished. So, Sejemen Kat, listen to the body. Listen to the body. Okay? All right. Well, I hope you all have a really wonderful and blessed evening, and I will see you soon. We say Meria, which means much love. Heri, which means be at peace. Teni, which means be accountable. Jebewi, which means to show mercy. And remember to apply the appropriate amount of mercy to yourself. Have a blessed night. Keruna fair, reswina chem, sweet dreams.